Welcome. In this video I'm going to cover managing local virtualization hosts. Kernel-based virtual machines, or KVM, is the virtualization technology used by Red Hat Enterprise Linux. It can run multiple unmodified Linux and Windows guest operating systems. Red Hat Enterprise Linux can be configured as a thick host, running on physical hardware and supporting one or more virtual machines, while also providing other local and network services, applications, and management functions. The limitations of the physical hardware determine the maximum number of virtual machines, while management of the virtual machines is done via the libvirt utilities, such as Virt Manager and Virsh. Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization, or REV, supports KVM instances across multiple REV hypervisor systems, providing KVM migration, redundancy, and high availability, all while being managed via Rev Manager and, optionally, Red Hat CloudForms. The hypervisor is a thin host instance of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat Enterprise Linux OpenStack platform provides a private cloud infrastructure using an integrated and tuned mix of Red Hat Enterprise Linux, OpenStack, and KVM components that can be managed using either the OpenStack dashboard or Red Hat CloudForms. Red Hat certified cloud providers offer OpenStack in the public cloud and can also be managed by either the OpenStack dashboard or Red Hat CloudForms. Finally, there is the hybrid cloud offering, which can consist of a mix of Rev, Red Hat OpenStack, and public cloud OpenStack instances, all managed by Red Hat CloudForms. KVM instances can be migrated between environments and even potentially transitioned to third-party OpenStack and VMware platforms. To configure a Red Hat Enterprise Linux thick host on physical hardware, ensure that your CPU supports virtualization and 64-bit processing extensions. You can use grep over/proc/CPU info to check the CPU flags and cores. Intel processors require Intel VT-X, and AMD processors require AMD-V. Additionally, Rev hypervisors require the Intel No Execute feature, or on AMD, the Execute Disable feature. Ideally, your CPU will have at least one core or hyperthread for each virtual machine you plan to host, plus one for the host operating system. And your virtual machine should not enable more virtual CPUs than the host system's CPU cores. You should have a minimum of 2 GB of RAM for the host Red Hat operating system, plus additional RAM as specified for each virtual machine you are hosting. You will also need approximately 6 GB of disk space for the host Red Hat operating system, plus additional disk space for each virtual machine you are hosting. Install as a minimum the QEMU-KVM and QEMU-image packages, and to manage your virtual machines, consider installing libvirt and Virt Manager. If you use Python extensively, then there are a number of Python packages you can install as well. When installing Red Hat Enterprise Linux as the host operating system, Anaconda allows you to specify virtualization host in the software selection. And if you include the add-on virtualization platform, then all the necessary management packages are installed as well. You can install other services and applications once the operating system is installed. We will examine the Virt Manager utility in the Installing a New Virtual Machine video, but let's take a look at the Virsh command line utility. You can run Virsh with a command, in this case list, to see the state of each virtual machine. Or you can run Virsh as an interactive shell. Type help to see the full list of commands. There are a lot. You can use help with the command group name, such as domain, to see all the domain-related commands. You can also use help with a specific command, in this case create for example, to see help specific to that command. The define command takes an XML file and defines a new virtual machine, without starting it. Use the start command separately to start the virtual machine. And as you might guess, the undefine command removes the virtual machine definition. The create command is similar to the define command in that it creates a new virtual machine definition, but it also starts the virtual machine immediately. You may be able to use the reboot command or shutdown command to manage the lifecycle of your virtual machine, although you may also prefer to issue those commands directly within the virtual machine operating system. The destroy command is similar to pulling the power cord on the virtual machine, which of course could result in data loss on the virtual machine. These commands represent just a small sample of the lifecycle management commands that you can use with virsh. As you saw earlier, there are a lot of commands that virsh supports. To recap, KVM is used as the core of all of Red Hat's virtualization and cloud solutions. A thick host will require a multi-core 64-bit CPU with virtualization extensions, 2 GB of RAM for the host plus additional RAM for each virtual machine, 6 GB of disk space for the host plus whatever storage your virtual machines require. There are at least 3 packages that are normally installed to enable virtualization and management at the command line, and use virsh to issue single commands, run an interactive management shell, or script management operations. That concludes this video. Thanks for watching.